This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
If 2020 has taught us anything, it's to take nothing for granted. So when you expect hot water and get cold, when you expect the shower to drain and it doesn't, when you turn the furnace on and it won't start, stop freaking and call Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical. 1-800-FREAKIN'.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
Let's play Beat Mix.
It's time to play the game.
Yeah.
So everybody scream his name. Beat Mix. Don't be a loser. Whoa! Beat Mix. You're a loser.
It is time to Beat Mix, and it's time to pump it up for Monday. All right.
Pump it up. Let's do it. Let's pump it.
And nothing gets me pumped up quite like riding turtles.
Damn straight.
Yep, I'll be perfectly honest there.
Really?
Yeah, I love the T-shirt. It's got my cats in it.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Shout out to Frank and Carl on their first T-shirt.
Yay!
Let's get to our contestant today.
Yay!
We got Scott in Seattle. Scott, are you there?
I am.
Excellent. All right, Steve, get out of here. Right. For those playing at home, Scott will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. Scott, you can pass all you want, but you'll only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Ready.
Which Superbad actor did the voice of Pumbaa in the 2019 movie The Lion King?
Pass.
What is the capital of Iowa?
Des Moines.
Yes. What year of the mid-2010s did Prince pass away?
2017?
No.
2016.
Yes. Bill Hader produced and starred in what HBO television show?
Barry?
Yes. The constellation Ursa Major was more well known as what?
The Big Dipper?
Yes. Which singer popularized the song It's Not Unusual?
Tom Jones.
Yes. What color is the car that Starsky drives in Starsky and Hutch?
Orange and white.
No.
Orange.
No.
Red.
Yes. In English, magna cum laude means with great what?
Honors.
Yes. What country artist was featured in Lil Nas X's hit song Old Town Road?
Cyrus.
Yes.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Yes. How many cups are in a quart?
4.
Yes, and Scott gets 9 out of 10.
Nice. Very nice.
Ooh, yeah.
That could be the difference maker, baby.
It could be, and Scott himself was a little pumped up. I heard that woohoo over there. Steve's coming back in here, sauntering in on a Monday.
Watch me saunter.
Yeah, feeling pretty good about yourself?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty awesome.
All right, then. Are you ready?
Oh, yes.
Which Superbad actor did the voice of Pumbaa in the 2019 movie The Lion King?
Jonah Hill?
No.
Christopher Mintz-Plasse?
No.
Super bad. Oh, crap. Seth Rogen.
Yes.
Nice.
What is the capital of Iowa?
Des Moines.
Yes. What year in the mid-2010s did Prince pass away?
2015.
No.
2016.
Yes. Bill Hader produced and starred in what HBO television show?
Oh, crap. I watched that show, too.
Oh, crap, you did?
I can't think of the name.
Oh, good.
Burns. Mr. Burns?
No.
Mr.
That's it.
Babadoo?
No.
Hello, Mr. Babadoo.
I'm going to go with the Smurfs.
No. The constellation Ursa Major is more well known as what?
Big Dipper.
Yes. Which singer popularized the song It's Not Unusual?
not unusual to be Tom Jones.
Yes.
And his bulge.
What color is the car that Starsky drives in Starsky and Hutch?
Red.
Yes. In English, magna cum laude means with great what?
Honor.
Yes. What country artist was featured in Lil Nas X's hit song
Billy Ray
Old Town
Cyrus.
Road? Yes. How many cups are in a quart?
4.
Yes. And Steve, you get a 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
And
baby.
tie.
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
Nice job, Scotty.
Yeah, you got a tie there.
Good job, Steve.
You
Yeah.
too, my friend.
Yeah, listen, tie is great because there's no songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that tie.
Kind of okay.
He did not know that Seth Rogen was a super bad actor.
Yeah, that killed him.
It did, but he did know that Bill Hader produced and starred in Barry.
Barry, I couldn't think of it.
Yeah, I didn't
It's
know.
a great show.
I haven't seen it yet, and I really wanted to see it because one of the actors from Gotham, Mr. Zaz, the bald guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in that. And so I was
Henry
like,
Winkler's in it too.
is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Barry's
Yeah,
a great show.
And Mr. Zaz, the guy who plays Mr. Zaz, is really good. His role he plays in the show is good.
Oh, you've seen it too?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
haven't seen all of it. Kathy and I watch it on we got to get back to it because she sometimes doesn't. It's a darker comedy, and so
Yeah.
she's never sometimes she's in the mood, sometimes she's not.
It's basically about like what a hitman that wants to actually like become
an actor.
Yeah, so
Exactly. That's it.
That sounds pretty amazing.
It's really well done, and Bill Hader's great in it. But honestly, it's been so long since I watched it. I almost feel like I have to now watch it all over again when they come back with a new season. 'Cause it's been. I don't remember when that show ended.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm
coming
not-
back.
I don't even know if it is coming back with another season, and I think it has
thought it
2
was.
seasons. I
Yeah.
think.
Oh, okay. So you could at least binge that. That's not
Yeah.
too bad.
Oh, it's a quick binge because they're not that long of episodes.
Yeah,
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, and
I got to get back to that too. For those of you that own a Samsung washing machine, there's a jingle that plays when you load your when your load of laundry is done, and I know this because I do have a Samsung, and it does play a nice little song.
So do we, and the damn song goes on forever.
It does.
It's
really
like
does.
Bohemian Rhapsody of jingles. Like I'm like, oh, laundry's done. It's still playing, and our laundry room's right by Tatum's room, and I'm like, hey, can you like cut the song a little bit because it goes on forever.
Yeah, you don't want to wake the kid up. What are you doing?
Right.
Yeah. Well, a musician actually turned that Samsung laundry jingle into a song by adding percussion, bass, and other sound bites.
Here comes a big drop. Wow. Okay, this guy's got too much free time, and I love him.
I really feel like this should be added to my Samsung washing machine because I want this all to play.
Well, this is exactly how long it is, right?
Oh yeah, forever.
This sounds like a song from Wreck-It Ralph.
Dude,
Oh,
kinda.
totally. Yeah.
It sounds like something like you'd be like, I don't know, I'm tripping on ecstasy, but I think my laundry's done.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I mean, it really does take you back to all the video games we played back in the day.
Absolutely. Or when the acid kicks in at the laundromat.
I saw some people on like his YouTube page like, do the Roomba song now. I guess there's a song for Roomba.
Oh, I don't have a Roomba, so I don't know.
I'm shocked. I thought I was the only one that had a Samsung. That's funny that you have one too. And
Yeah, Samsung is like, isn't it odd how they got good reviews? That's why we got it.
It was in our price range and good reviews, and we liked the way it looked. But I was like, oh my gosh, like this song. Who thought this was a good idea?
The Samsung people.
Apparently, like, couldn't they just go with a quick like do and then be done?
But then you wouldn't hear it.
That's the thing.
It's got
I
to
think
play
is,
for as
yeah.
long because you're probably never in your laundry room when it goes off.
That's not true. I have a couch in there, and I just sit in there and wait. No, you're
Well,
right.
okay, then fine.
No, you're right. And there are times where I'm downstairs and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess laundry's done. Yeah, it's still going.
That's it, because usually, I mean, people have their laundry room away from wherever they are, usually on another floor. And unless you have that annoying buzzer from the old school, that was just sort of like, it sounded like something was wrong with the electrical system.
Oh, that's so funny. Someone says, my wife and I, we joke about that song every time. Like, honey, did you hear something? Another person said, if my washing machine did that, I would push it off a cliff, LOL. It's the washer and the dryer.
Yeah.
Although,
that's right. We had a dryer that did that. Yeah.
I have hit Mecca, and I wonder if you guys have. If you have the washer and dryer, I have heard it go off at the same time, where it's almost like a symphony of music. And I was like, oh my gosh, Can't. That's
wow. Yeah.
lightning hitting twice. I haven't had that happen again.
I'm in the
That's
process
nuts.
of saving up for a dryer, and now that is my new goal in life once I buy the dryer.
Get the Samsung.
You got to
Yes.
test the music before you do it.
Yeah. Oh, you got to get it now, Vicky. Be part of the club.
Yeah, Danny. What are you
Yeah,
waiting
come on.
for?
What's with your washing machine?
No, I
man?
should do that, but they don't do that in rentals.
Oh.
We just have a little stacked one that you can fit like one load into.
I'm sorry.
At least you got one in your apartment.
It's true.
Right.
Because when I was doing the apartment living, I remember when I see some of my friends, like you now have one, and I remember D. Ted Smith had one in his place, and I remember walking in and be like, wait a second. You have a washer and dryer in your actual apartment? Like, that was like a big part of why I didn't want to live in an apartment anymore. I was just sick of going into a laundry room.
Oh yeah, that was my girlfriend's like main thing. We need a washer and dryer in the apartment, and I was like, yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Good call, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the old days, Steve.
That was like the worst part.
Yeah.
Like,
you
I
had to
didn't
go
mind
to the-
apartment living. It was just, oh crap, I got to go down there and hope that one of the two washer and dryers are empty or even working. Because there were many times they were breaking on us.
My favorite part was always when you would get there and none of them were running, so you're like, cool, but then you go open them
There's
up
crap
and,
in there.
and somebody just left their stuff there.
Oh, and that's just part of living with anybody. They'll go, oh yeah, I'll leave my stuff in there for days.
Not when you're using a community laundry.
No, that's grounds for being hit in the head with a frying pan.
Yes.
Oh, I was going to say pee in the laundry, but each their own.
Oh, all right. Well,
right.
there's so many different responses to the same problem.
Mental note: never do laundry at Rev's house.
Yeah.
Well, just don't leave it there.
Mental note: let's just not go anywhere near the Rev's house. How about
Fair.
Just picturing Rev standing on top of the washer, just hovering and just
Don't mind me.
R.
Just
Kellying this laundry.
taking out some retribution.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW. Hey, you got something to say? I got something to say. They're wild, rabid, and on the loose. This is Listeners on the Loose.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's Listeners on the Loose. You pick the topic, you guide the show, 206-421-ROCK. You can also text us at 77999. It is pretty simple. If you'd like to voice your opinion, be sure to follow Steve's rule.
It's a simple rule, BJ. That's to show some energy and bring it. Otherwise, you'll be getting the gong. And then we'll have to say goodbye to you.
Goodbye, old friend.
206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Daryl in Everett, you are on the Rock.
Hey, so I should have called in earlier about, hey, I can't believe I didn't get fired for doing this.
Oh, what did you do that you should have been fired for, buddy?
A construction company, large construction company. We were remodeling a high school. This is quite a few years ago, and we had one of those big reach forklifts. This thing weighs in itself probably about 10 tons.
Damn.
But anyway, we're up on the roof, and the boss is down below, and he's bringing up big units of plywood. We're blacking out this roof, so I figured he took off for a second to go talk to the superintendent. We're up there. We got nothing to do. So I dropped this 2x6, ramped into the cab of the forklift. It's just sitting there idling. And so I start sliding blocks down it, filling the cab, just kind of as a joke. And after I filled the floorboard of this forklift with these blocks that we were using on the roof, I slipped it up onto the seat. I'm like, okay. And I slid the first block down. I'm like, wow, that was pretty close to the actual gear shift because it's on the column. And sure enough, the next block headed down the ramp, hit the gear shift, put the forklift in gear. It's idling. It starts heading off across the job site in reverse.
Oh, boy.
And it ends up, so the boss is, I'm on the roof. We got a bunch of guys up there. Nobody's willing to jump off the roof to go chase down this forklift that's now heading across the job site. The boss has to jump out one of the framed windows of the building to get to the forklift, scramble across the muddy parking lot, gets in there. Now there's blocks all over the floor because you can't get to the brake pedal. And the forklift actually impacted another building. And
Wow.
I can't believe I didn't get fired.
Whoa. Did he know you did it?
Yeah, they were, all the evidence is right there. I'm on the roof. I've got, 10 other guys that are watching me do this. We're all standing around waiting for another unit of plywood. The only reason I didn't get fired was because I knew the boss. He's like a friend of the family.
Oh,
and he
okay.
still is.
So what was it?
And the funny part, the superintendent, though, was so intolerant of it, my kind of horseplay on the job, that they sent me home. And I was home for 2 days. I had to take 2 days off the rest of that week.
Oh, could have been a lot worse.
Because it was my second violation.
Damn, dude. Yeah, that could have been a lot worse. But you know, it just shows. It goes to show you, it pays to know people. Pays to know somebody.
We got a funny text. It's kind of on the flip side of all this, but the person said, "Have you ever been happy to see a coworker get fired?" We had a coworker. Oh, okay. This person said we had a coworker that was the worst. When she got fired, we had a huge party, a taco party. LOL.
Wow.
Oh, hey. Yeah, I mean, and I might have been that. I'm sure there were times where people were happy I was gone. I would be betting on that as well.
Based on your stories, there were a couple of people that complained about you to the point where you were temporarily fired, and I got to imagine that they felt at that time. I hope over the course of their time, maybe they realized that was a little much. But maybe at that moment, they were probably like, "Yeah, got him."
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's one time I will say one of the people responsible did apologize.
You're right. I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
And you know, I think really well of them, as a matter of fact, because look, I've been there. You get angry. Also, I think that person definitely had a valid reason why they were mad at me. All of it made sense, and I think, you know, there's nothing like an apology, like someone going, "Hey, man, I am really sorry. I didn't want it to come to this. I was angry, but this sucks, and I'm really sorry it came to this."
That's cool.
The other person has never even admitted it, and I can't even confront them because it was a hearsay situation where a person said, "I don't know if you know this, but this other person was involved and really involved, but don't say anything." And I'm like, well, that's great. Now I hate a person I can't even try to resolve it with.
Well, I just went to that person's LinkedIn page, and it's in their bio, got BJ Shea fired. So
Really?
They're very proud of it.
Yeah. All right. Well, now I can at least talk to them.
So was there someone that you saw that you quickly answered yes? You were happy to see somebody get fired.
Oh, yeah. It was. I've worked with many people in.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
When the hot water needs to be hot, when the drain needs to drain, when the toilet needs to flush, you need to do two things. Stop freaking and call Beacon. Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical. On call and there when you need them most. 1-800-FREAKIN or beaconplumbing.net.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
This industry that I was happy that they're no longer working with me. I'll just say that.
Mm-hmm.
And that way I don't want to name names or whatever, or even give a hint of where I was. I pretty much every job I've had, somebody's gone. I will, you know what? I'll tell you one person, because I don't think this is a big problem. It was a former promotions department person that, when Hair Club joined KISW, I was working for another station.
Uh-huh.
And Hair Club immediately changed everybody because, you know, he was like, I know what I want to do to make KISW a great station. So he brought in a lot of cool people. He made it amazing. This was before he decided to bring us in the men's room over. So we were still over at the Buzz. And all of a sudden, you know, the big boss, when Hair Club's like, all right, I'm going to get rid of this person because I just think I can get somebody better in this position. The big boss goes, well, I can't let that happen. So they would just bring him over to the Buzz and we get all the rejects that Hair Club pretty much didn't want. And, oh, man.
You got the coworkers from Wish.
Oh, yeah. And there was one person who was really horrible. And man, oh man, I complained because they were in charge of basically promoting us and making us better. And eventually, finally, the big boss got fired. And when the big boss got fired, which by the way, that was pretty cool too. When the big boss got fired, that person got fired as well. But I remember just hating Hair Club because I was like, if not for you coming in here wanting to make a better station, we wouldn't have all this crap. And he would laugh. And eventually he was like, don't worry, buddy, I'll figure it out. And you know, he did. He eventually hired me over at KISW. So he did actually, Hair Club did do me a solid eventually.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone. I mean, one person I'm happy was gone because like that person kept their door open and would blast music, and they also would take our adult films that we had for
I forgot
giveaways.
about that person.
Like,
That's a good call.
I was just happy. Like I was like, I hope they land on their feet, but I could really be. I mean, it's a lot nicer not having that person around. I was not happy that they were fired. The one I remember, it wasn't even like I was happy that they weren't working with me at the time. I remember when I worked at the old station, we got fired. The guy that brought us onto that station, when we got fired, would not even talk to us. Like, he acted like as if we were already dead. Like, he didn't even come in and be like, sorry that this didn't work out. And we were there for hours after we got fired. They fired us, and then they let us say, like, take as much time as you want because we got along with everyone. They're like, go to your office, grab what you need. If you got to come back tomorrow, take however long you need. And everybody's coming in to say goodbye. It was it sucked, but it made things a lot easier to stomach knowing that, hey, there's a lot of people that gave a crap about us. It was just unfortunate circumstances. There's one guy, the reason why we went there, promised us the world, didn't deliver on any of it. Then we get fired, partially because we never got the marketing opportunities that he promised us. He wouldn't even look at us. Just kept walking by. Fast forward many years later, he's working somewhere and he gets fired. I was pretty stoked he got fired. I ain't going to lie. I was like, serves him right, that son of a...
I think I know that person, by the way, too.
And then he started working here, and I wasn't going to hold a grudge. But when I first saw him, I'm like, hey, good to see you. Trying to, he's like, yeah. And then he started telling me about his last job. He goes, yeah, and I got fired. And it's like, it was just such a humbling thing. And people wouldn't even look at me. No one said goodbye to me. All this. And I just looked at him and go, kind of like how you treated me. And he just kind of had that moment where he was just like saw a ghost. I was like, dude, you're going to bitch about something that you did to me? Karma. I didn't say that part.
Should have.
But I said kind of like how you treated me. And he was just like, yeah, that was bad. I'm sorry. And I was like, we're good. That was it. But at the moment when I found out he got fired, I was like, good. Serves him right.
Yeah. Boy, there's so many people, Steve, that I like all the bosses I've had who got fired. Now they're all tumbling back in my head. There's been a bunch of them, and they were all bosses. The ones that are not in the industry anymore, who were basically hired to tell you how to do this job, and now are not in the business anymore, and really they're not in any business that really would qualify them to have any, really any say in anything. That's what I've been redeemed. I've been vindicated to go, hey, look what that person's doing now. Look what and you let them try to run a radio station, and look what right now, they can't even run a temperature. Look at them. I mean, I go, it was right that I gave you such a hard time for having this idiot tell us what to do, because you'd have to fight all the time, and you go, this person doesn't know what they're talking about. I don't even think they know our business. And as it turns out, they really didn't, and they got fired very soon.
So for me, I guess it's just like, as long as you bid me farewell and don't steal my porn, I have no problem with you.
Yeah, you're a better man than me. You have less stories than I do on this one. You might have maybe 2 or 3.
That's it.
I think I have at least. It could be like it could be getting close to 50 people that I'm happy are gone.
Vicky, do you have anyone?
There was one girl. So when I worked at the restaurant, the last restaurant job I had, my cousin's the one that got me the job. But she had warned me. There is this one girl who, I will give her credit, she was like one of the best waitresses I've ever seen. But she was such a bitch. Like, she was just so rude to everyone, and everyone feared her. And so it wasn't until like I came in and like the bosses really didn't like her either. And they're like, so how are you liking your new training experience? Because it was either my cousin or this girl who was training me. It's like, yeah, it's a little rough. It's a little bit more intense. And they're like, she's not very nice, is she? No, she's not. So I basically like not timed her out because I was asked like how my experience was with her. And I was like, she's just very mean, very rude for no reason to everyone else. But to the customer, she's sweet as pie. And then a few days later, was fired. And I may or may not have sang, ding dong, the witch is dead. Da, 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 da. Oh, it was so great.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW. BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's listeners on the loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
Got a few texts about this. People are like, hey, did you check out Frog Leap Studios? The new cover just came out, and it's awesome. Inspector Gadget.
Oh, wow. Going back into your childhood.
Oh, man, I used to love Inspector Gadget.
Oh, hell yeah. It was one of my favorite cartoons growing up.
Was that, was it Don Adams that did his voice?
Yes.
Yeah, the guy that played the old Get Smart, which then Steve Carell reprised the role, when they did
that
the
terrible movie.
You watch your whore mouth. That movie was awesome.
That movie was
amazing.
crap.
Shush.
That movie was so bad, especially when you
watch it.
You go back and watch the original Get Smart movie.
That's the problem.
And then you will just
You watch your
realize
whore mouth.
how bad that Rock movie was.
Dude, the original Get Smart television show was awesome. The movie was freaking badass. You're crazy.
Yeah, the original movie, not the remake.
Oh, wait. What original movie?
They had a TV movie for Get Smart with what's his nuts and
Wait, was it after the show or before the show?
It was after the show. It was about
I never saw that.
Yeah, it was
I'm
them
gonna have to
trying
watch that.
to dismantle a bomb that would remove everyone's clothes.
Oh, the nude
bomb.
Oh, I did see that. Oh man, it's been forever.
The Steve Carell, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson Get Smart was great.
The only reason why I didn't walk out of that movie is because we were all together watching it.
Yeah, that's right. I remember we were
go
there.
see it
Yeah,
together.
I actually liked
hated it.
the
I still
movie.
hate it.
It wasn't really a ton like the TV show, but I still liked it for what it was.
Still
Wow,
fun.
I can't believe the Rev hates it so much.
Plus, it has Anne Hathaway in it, and she's fun to look at.
Yes.
You can look at her in other stuff too.
And then the Inspector Gadget movie, was it Matthew Broderick?
Yes.
That was a fun movie, too.
And Michelle Trachtenberg.
Watch, Rev hated that one as well.
I
really wasn't a fan of that.
If it's not Scott Pilgrim versus the Inspector Gadget, it's not good.
Well,
now there's
might
a
be
movie.
right there.
There you go.
Actually, I would like to see that.
I know, me too.
All right, so
do we
Leo,
have the theme that's been done by Leo?
Oh, I'm excited.
All right, here it is.
Awesome. I'm already sold. And he plays trumpet too.
That's amazing.
Yeah, enough with this, Leo. You're too good.
Well, he really is talented, and the videos are great.
He
always
stepped
gets
up his video game. Yeah.
You know what, man? And we've interviewed Leo. If this is your first time hearing this, going, what the hell is this? Leo from Frogleaf Studios takes iconic songs and just metalifies them
Of all genres.
Yeah, and sometimes he even metalifies what people sometimes consider metal.
Or he's even taken metal songs and made them into acoustic jams. Like the guy has no stopping. It's just everything he does is awesome.
And we interviewed him, and where's he? He's in another country, right? Where's he at?
It's like Sweden or the Netherlands
and
or something.
I think it's the Netherlands, but I could be wrong.
There's a guy with definitely doing like the ragey sound, and really just one of the nicer guys you could ever talk to, who just basically stumbled into this wonderful career now that he has that can support him.
Norway.
And yeah,
He's Norwegian.
Just a great dude, and always putting a smile on our faces, including really dipping into the childhood for this one.
That's so good. And yeah, he has hopes and aspirations to take the show on the road and come to Seattle, which I still keep my fingers crossed. Obviously when we talked to him, it was during peak COVID times. Nothing was open. So I'm hoping that at some point he's going to make his way to the States and do a tour, and I'll be there for sure. And we're taking the next day off.
Oh yeah.
If it's on a
Okay.
weekend.
All right. And of course our door is open to him if he would. If that happens, he can come in
Forever
and do whatever.
open.
Yeah. Forever. Wow. It is Listeners on the Loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
All right, texture needs our advice.
All right, what do we got?
So this one you might need a pen and paper to keep track of what's going on, because
Oh.
I had to read it twice just to kind of understand, and I might still have it confused.
Okay.
All right, so I said, let's talk about how I'm currently sleeping with and dating my son's mother's coworker. Haha.
My son's mother's coworker.
So baby
Okay.
mama's coworker.
All right.
So they're not together, I would assume.
Wait. Oh,
Right?
when he said my son's mother, I didn't realize it was baby mother. I thought it was his own kid. Oh, yeah, his son's mother. You're absolutely right. What else would that be? Yeah, you're right.
It sounds like they're not together.
I'm back on the train.
Right.
I for some reason, I thought it was, I don't know what I thought.
No, it's
okay,
hard for
so
a second
baby
to
mother's
comprehend.
coworker.
Yeah, so
okay.
I'm dating my son's mother's coworker. Haha.
Okay, got
Is
it.
it bad? My son's mom says she doesn't care, and she actually expected us to link up. In fact, my son's mom is the one that introduced us. However, her coworker is scared of her. Haha. And I've got friends and some family telling me that it's a bad idea. What do you guys think?
Well, if it becomes a relationship, they might just kind of talk back and forth.
He says that they're dating and banging, right?
Yes.
So, ooh.
Sleeping with and dating.
I'm thinking it shouldn't be that big of a deal, but like, what do they work at? Are they strippers? I feel like if you're a stripper or you work at an office, I feel like this is an important thing to know.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I never really thought of like a stripper referring to another stripper as their coworker, but that is true.
It is true.
Well, I like that Vicky went there. It makes it a much more interesting story.
Right? Yeah.
It's way more penthouse forum-y.
Way more intrigued.
I don't see what could possibly go wrong is my question. I feel like
the worst case scenario, you break up, and it's just as crappy as any relationship when you break up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think since the wife is the ex-wife, the mom is okay with it, unless really the girl is complaining, and so he's writing to us going, I don't see the problem because, well, yeah, maybe not for you, but
well, they have a kid, him and the baby mom,
right?
So I mean, if he does something that pisses her off, maybe the new girl is afraid of retribution.
See, that I can see. So for him, it's no problem, but maybe for the girl.
Yeah.
And the coworker's scared of the baby mama.
See, exactly. That's where I was figuring about that.
Yeah, so
now
that's
it does
really
feel like
the story.
it's a stripper situation. Like
yeah,
like that's like the leader of the stripper locker room kind of.
Exactly.
The queen bee.
Yeah, you don't mess with the
Head
queen
of the
bee.
table.
Exactly.
And didn't the baby mama recommend this girl to him? Basically, also knew that they would hook up.
Well, yeah.
So I don't understand how the baby mama has any leg to stand on to give anybody a hard time.
But see,
Not
the
that
issue
would
is more
stop
got
her.
friends and family in his ear saying this is a bad idea.
Well, your friends and your family don't. I mean, I
Tell
don't
them to
know how
worry
it's a
about their
bad
own
idea for him.
dogs.
How is it a bad idea for him? I mean, unless for somehow the wife is going to start treating him like crap, and maybe that will affect his visitation stuff. I don't know. I feel like this is just what we do these days. Whoever stays married, you're going to have to date people you know. And, if you have a good relationship with the baby mama, she'll probably want to get you off her back in a way by getting you with somebody else. I just feel, I don't know who dumped who in that situation. That's the other thing that's good to know. Like, who dumped who within the baby mama and father situation.
Yeah,
because that's the person that could be bitter. If you get dumped and then you see the person that dumped you dating somebody else, then you can be bitter. But if you're the one that did the dumping, you're probably like, yeah, let me pawn you off on somebody else because I wanted to get rid of you in the first place.
Just like go to the text line to see what kind of advice we're getting, BJ.
What are the texters saying?
First thing I read is, and it comes in right when we're talking about this, it says, some golf balls have water centers. Which was like a conversation.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
a Pete Miggs question.
But at this time in the morning, I'm like, you know what? I need to let them know.
Yeah, timing is everything. I bet that took that person a long time to. Is that true, or are they just joking?
I don't know.
I'm trying to look, and I don't even know. I'm looking. All I'm finding are waterlogged balls, so I'm not really sure if.
Well,
that was my own nickname.
those.
Okay.
Wow.
But the text is, as far as about this conversation, say, if you're having a good time with each other, then live your life and be happy. Another person, have fun and be happy. The next one says the texter might be worried about his ex giving his new girlfriend dirt on him.
What kind of dirt?
Oh, yeah.
He likes really,
unprotected sex.
Yeah, he was a horrible husband. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, what do you, I mean, obviously, it's obvious that they didn't work out, and all right, you might want to make sure you know why anyway before you get into a relationship with a guy, because it could have been him.
But it sounds like if maybe, they're still friends. Obviously, I mean, they have to still, deal with each other because they have a kid together.
Yeah.
And he just texted and says, we're actually on great terms. We co-parent. It's amazing. We get along great. And I get along great with her husband. She just introduced us because she thought we'd be a great match. So then who cares about what everyone else is saying?
Yeah,
Tell them all to piss off.
Yeah, texter, who's really having the problem? Is your girlfriend having the problem or your stupid friends and family? And I said stupid because, well,
I
I feel like they're being
People
dumb
just
here.
love to create soap operas when they don't even exist.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
My only concern is if this is something that the current girlfriend brings up constantly, then I feel like she might be looking for an out. Like, oh, you know what? This relationship isn't working because I'm uncomfortable with your baby mama.
Way
I
to go,
like,
Vicky. Now we're throwing that into the mix.
Hey.
We just want him to be happy. You're trying
I
to end
want
the
him to be happy
relationship.
too, and I want him to be
Are you trying
aware
to get
of
him
what
to get
may be
into your
happening.
OnlyFans page? Is that what's going on?
I got plenty of guys and girls. I got a girl who just added me on OnlyFans. Her and her husband like listening to the show, and she wanted to be my friend on OnlyFans. So it's not just dudes. Anybody can join. But you never know. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Maybe she's uncomfortable for whatever reason. You need to talk about it.
I don't even understand what's happening. But I will say this. If she really can we just talk to each other like humans? If she wants to leave, if Vicky's right, and she's just afraid to say it, how about we put our big boy pants on, big girl pants on, and just go, I'm done with this relationship. That would be great if we could just start doing that. And then could we also be big boys and big girls and go, okay, you don't want me anymore. I'm not going to make that big of a deal out of it. I'm going to be sad and upset. I'll find ways to deal with it so that we can be like direct with each other. Because Vicky's right. There are people that will do the weirdest things to get out of things rather than just tell you directly, I'm done. I mean, God, I want to be able to live in a world that does that instead of going, well, I mean, just tell me you're done with me.
One person says maybe this is just his attempt to brag about banging the friend of his baby mama.
Oh, I believe that. Yep. Humble brag. Was that The Rock? Did The Rock write into us?
It was totally Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah, I knew it. He does all the time. He's
a big fan.
Oh, is he? Well, yeah, I could tell because he responded to that Twitter where you wanted to have a cheat day with him.
What?
He really loves you.
Well, I mean, there is a restraining order, and I understand.
Yeah, I mean, because he does respond. He does respond to some people on Twitter. Don't know why he hasn't got to you yet. I'm a little pissed, to be honest with you.
You would be one of those people that would frame that restraining order, though.
100%. I'd turn it into a T-shirt. What are you talking about?
Fair enough. Yeah.
That might actually be my back tattoo. I've been trying to figure out what would I get on the back.
Oh, a restraining order from The Rock.
Yes.
All right. Well, and
with the cartoon drawing of us eating sushi together.
Oh, there you go. That is, I'm sure. Well, that's a masterpiece in the making right there.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. How much does bankruptcy cost?
Well, bankruptcy costs, of course, vary depending on what type of case you're filing. There's a certain amount of court costs and other out-of-pocket costs that you're going to have in any case. The filing fees in a bankruptcy case are about $300, whether you file Chapter 7 or Chapter 13. One of the things to watch out for when you're shopping for bankruptcy attorneys or looking at the different cost options is that a lot of times, especially the really cheap places, don't tell you up front about all the court costs and whatnot that you're going to have to pay in addition to the attorney fees. So make sure that you get the full picture when you're comparing prices of bankruptcy lawyers on what the attorney fees are, how much your court costs are going to be, so that you can really make a true comparison.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.